Well, good afternoon, folks. How are you all doing today? This is Dylan Talk Stone. This is our live stream that we do every Thursday at 5 p.m. If you're new to the channel, we do guitar tech, guitar related content every week. Right now, we're doing a crazy thing where we do some sort of video content every day of the month of May. We are 14 days into this thing, and I have not missed a day, and we won't miss tomorrow either because I just finished tomorrow's video. It is a lot of work, but it's worth it. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been giving me some new ideas and some stuff to do, so that's pretty cool. The thing on Thursdays, though, at 4 p.m. that we've got going right now is basically a Q&A. So the easiest ways to do this, one is you can go over to patreon.com/DylanTalksTone, and you can make sure that you guarantee that your question is going to be answered today. You can also go and post on the YouTube timeline question thing that we always post too. And so, yeah, man, it's super fun. We don't have a ton of questions today, so we'll probably spend some time just in the live feed here. So if you want to use a super chat there or try to get a question in there, that'd be cool too. And we'll see what's going on. And I'll kind of fill you in on a couple other things we got going. Today's going to be a little bit loose. Yesterday I didn't have a very good day health-wise, and I'm still not feeling good today. So it's been just a little super kind of a chill day. So I've got some water here, and I've got some tequila that is pretty good. I figure that'll kill any germs. So let's jump right into some of these comments or these questions. Some of them that come over Patreon, so we'll start there. One, what are the advantages and disadvantages of a pickup with single coil pieces, blade rail style, compared to a pickup with the classic 6 pole pieces, one for each string? Okay, so single pole pieces like a Strat versus a blade, or a humbucker with regular pole pieces versus a blade. Basically, the magnetic field is a different shape, so it just gives you a different tone. That's really all it is. But it also it doesn't differentiate between strings, if that makes sense. Now, a pickup with 6 pole pieces that are right next to each other, they're not 6 individual pole magnetic fields. They are going to kind of work together as one, but it's not quite the same as having a bar that's going to give you just this one blob of magnetic field going all the way across, basically. It depends on the design of the pickup. It depends on the strength of the magnets. A lot of people will say that the individual pole pieces will have more string definition between the strings. In theory, that would make sense because it visually looks that way, but depending on how strong the magnet is, it may not make that much of a difference. If the magnet's really strong and you just have a fairly consistent magnetic field going all the way across, it won't make that much difference. The thing is that magnetic shape within a coil changes the inductance within that coil, meaning where the inductance happens, where the voltage is induced in the coil, changes based on the width and height of the coil as well as the strength of the magnetic field. So a stronger magnet will produce more voltage further out in the coil versus closer towards the magnet, if that makes sense. So in that respect, the type of pole piece arrangement can really make a difference. Is it always string definition? Yes and no, but in my opinion, overall inductance has more to do with that, and tons of capacitance in a pickup can kill that too. So I don't think it's exactly what everybody thinks it is. It doesn't make that much of a difference, is what we're going to say. But you can get more magnet with a bar magnet, for sure. More. Let's see. Gibson traditional versus modern wiring in your experience. What does it do to the sound of the guitar? People say that it retains highs better when you turn the volume down with vintage wiring in a Gibson. I need to do a video on this, and this is something that we will do an A/B test and let you make up your mind. Personally, I can't stand it. Not because of the actual tone of the thing, but it really annoys me that when you turn the volume down, it kills it on both of them. I hate that. It really annoys me. So I never, ever, ever, ever use it. Also, I am of the opinion that when you Band-Aid, we're going to talk about this too, because this has been going on in the comments a lot. It drives me insane. Band-Aids for problems that aren't really problems are just ways for companies to make money, and they are not really a solution. And so I don't know. Modern Fender wiring is awesome. It works. That's what I put on every guitar I build. And I like the tonal change when you turn the volume down and you get that flexibility of tone, where it changes how the highs react a little bit. It just gives you more to do with the guitar. It's not a problem. It's a feature, you know? I don't know. I feel differently about it than a lot of people do, though. So, do you know any reliable way to repair a nut slot that has become too deep or too wide other than replacing the whole nut? You can do all kinds of things, but they will be Band-Aids. You can, with a plastic nut, you can super glue it. With bone nuts, you can make a bunch of bone dust into a paste and glue it in there, but it won't be right. So this leads me to my little rant for the day. One more sip of tequila and we'll get going. It keeps coming up in various comments whenever we make a video, like, and this is not like a haters thing. This is just, I think it's human nature more than anything. A question like this is interesting, but, you know, how to fix a nut without replacing it, but just get a new nut. I get it all the time, like where somebody will say, I'm building my dream guitar, and I'll be like, well, this is how much the pickups cost. Can you do it any cheaper? I thought you were building your dream guitar. Either you want it or you don't. Either you want to fix a problem or you don't want to fix a problem. To me, it's do it right or don't do it at all. And I've noticed it with this like construction of this Gretsch guitar, you know, because we're doing some non-conventional things and there's a lot of like suggestions to do stuff, and they're just like literally hack Band-Aid ways to fix stuff. And I'm just like, okay, if your imagination takes you there and that's what you know, then I understand it. But when it's obvious that it is somebody just trying to Band-Aid a problem so that they don't have to spend money, I don't understand that, because none of this stuff is that expensive. You know, to go put a new nut, I just bought a couple of nuts and I paid list price for them because I wanted them fast. I got them from Amazon. I got a Tusk nut and it cost me 10 bucks. Okay. So if I were going to send that to a shop with my guitar, it would probably cost me $40, $50 to have that nut installed. But if I have a $2,000 guitar, or even if it's a $500 guitar, but it's my only guitar, is it worth the $50 to me to have it done right? Absolutely. And we get questions like that all the time. Like, how can I Band-Aid this back together? Why can't I just use this, this, or this? Because it's not right. I mean, it will work. It will kind of fix it. But then, so here's for an example. If you were to super glue this nut, it would screw with your intonation because chances are you won't get it 100% right. It will wear 3 times as fast. It will sound different. You might get some weird pings. It will be very difficult to set the angle, the breakover angle to the peg head. If it's a bass, for example, it won't last at all. There's so much friction there and tension and weight and everything. If it's an unwound string, like an E string or a B string, it'll wear in like weeks. Like it's totally a band-aid. Like if you had to fix it to play a gig for a night and get by so that you could get it fixed next week, that's one thing. But if it's like, how can I do this to not spend $50 to do it right? And I understand that money can be a limiting factor for a lot of folks. But that's where you learn to do the stuff yourself and learn the skill to do it, because you will just open yourself up to more problems. I mean, I understand. I get it. Like, not everybody has $50 to spend on a hobby, because this is like it's expendable, not expendable income. What do they call that? It's not a priority, right? For a lot of people, like, we have to eat. So I'd rather spend $50 on groceries than $50 on a new nut for my guitar. Yes, I get that. But don't ever do it for the purpose of the long-term fix. You know, I mean, just don't do it for the purpose of the long-term fix, because you're not serving yourself or your hobby very well by doing that. Let's see. Oh, this is a Formula One based question. Thank you very much. F1 topic. So where do you think Sebastian Vettel will end up? Of course, he's not at Ferrari anymore. Charles Leclerc is a way better driver, in my opinion, and he's younger. I think Vettel is a little... Oh, he's done? He's over? So ESPN, maybe, I don't know. There's no Speed Channel anymore. Realistically, he may go to one of the midfield teams. Maybe he's not going to go to Mercedes. I don't know why he would go to Mercedes. He's not, in my opinion, he's not good enough anymore to go to Mercedes. What if he went to McLaren, maybe? I don't know. There's a few different possibilities there. It's interesting, though. It's definitely interesting. All right, I don't have a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot of stuff today, so I'm going to go back through these comments here. Are you winding the pickup for the giveaway today? I wound it yesterday, sort of. I screwed up. That's in the video tomorrow, in tomorrow morning's video. Can you share how your P90 Strat style pickups are different? Oh yeah, you know, I meant to put that in a video the other day. I don't have the stuff close to me right now. So there's a couple things. We use ceramic magnets. We use ceramic bar magnets on the bottom. We use actual pull piece screws like a regular P90. They're a little taller though. So they're not P90s, but they're built like a P90, if that makes sense. They're still Strat and Telecaster dimension coils, but they're constructed like a P90. And they're hot and gnarly, and they are super good. They're super fun. Everyone hit like. Yes, thank you so much. What is the coolest HSH Stratocaster mod that you have ever done? Okay, so I've only built a couple of HSH guitars there, because they're not that popular actually for my audience. What I would do with an HSH guitar, if I was to build one right now, I would put a center punch pickup in the neck, one of our Strat pickups in the bridge, middle, a 8-ball pickup in the bridge. I would put a 5-way switch on it. I would coil split the neck, and the bridge, on the same pot probably. And then I would do some sort of 7-way where you could turn all the pickups on at once. That's what I would do. That would be super fun. Do you make a specific pickup that is better for surf style? We make a really good metal lipstick pickup. you know, like the old school Dan Electro style, but they're bigger. They're the ones, they're shorter actually, shorter and fatter. They're the ones that go in a Strat hole. They work really good. And if you specifically wanted something wound for surf, I could make some Strat pickups that would really work well for that. Yeah. Cool. Some people are a little tighter on money. Yep, some people are. I posted pics on Facebook of my scalped fretboard, and people were like, it's going to kill. I hate that. It's going to kill resale value. Well, if I never sell it, it doesn't matter. That drives me insane. Oh, that drives me insane. That's so funny. Let's see. Yeah, you know, it's a priority thing for everybody, right? It's totally a priority thing for everybody. Do you think you'll ever do a video on sustainer pickups? So I have a list. I'll fill you in on the list right now. And this is what I use Patreon for. So the Patreon money that comes in on Patreon, that is what... Wait, what? Carlos Sainz is now at Ferrari and Ricciardo is at McLaren? I actually really like that. Sorry to get sidetracked, but I actually really like that. That's very, very cool. And no word on Vettel, apparently. Okay, sorry. Well, oh yeah, list. So the money that comes in from the $5 patrons over there on Patreon is what I'm using to fund buying stuff for these tests and then giving them away. Right now, to give away, we have a whole list of stuff, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I have a set of EMGs, Zach Wilds, to give away, the brand new in the box. We have a set of Fishman Fluences to give away. We have a Zither music stand. I think it's $200. We have a bunch of stuff to test and give away. So on the list coming, the idea is to try to not get stuff and cut it up. I would actually like to give it away. Some of the stuff we're going to cut up, obviously. But, you know, some of the stuff you don't have to cut up. So a sustainer is one of those things. I want to buy a sustainer, I want to do a video on it, and I want to give it away. The other one is those other, what are they called? God, my brain's freaking out right now. Not Fishman, Lace Illumitones. We're going to buy a Lace Illumitone pickup, and we're going to do a video about that. We're going to give one of those away. And then there's a bunch of other little things like that that we want to do and play around with. Yeah, man. Be super fun. So yes, that is a list. How can I connect two tone pots in parallel? They would have different capacitor values. They would bleed off of each other, so you would have to put a switch on it. That would be the easiest way, because it's a parasitic part of the circuit. So no matter how you did it, I guess if you had no load tone pot, so here's what you could do. You could hook them up in the same spot. Same, like just solder them to the same terminal on the volume pot, and then use no load tone pots. That's what I would do. And then when the volume was all the way on, or the tone was all the way on 10, that tone pot would be out of the circuit, and then you could use the other one and vice versa. That would be a way to do that. Two no load tone pots, two different capacitor values, and the no load part of that tone pot would be effectively a switch that would remove it from the circuit. That's what I would do. Easiest way. Otherwise, flip a switch back and forth between them. If you band-aid it, you're going to spend more time and money than it was worth than doing it right the first time. I 100% agree. Yeah, that's what I would do. Any plans on a no guitar talk, allowed guitar talk? Dude, that was so much fun. So for those of you that don't know, last Sunday night, I think, We did a live on Sunday night. Me and my wife hung out, just had a couple of drinks. It was called No Guitar Talk Allowed. I didn't do any of this. Like, we could talk about guitar stuff all you want, really, but it wasn't like, hey, how do I fix my guitar kind of stuff. It was like more general than that, and it was just chilling and hanging out, and there was a lot of off-topic stuff, and it was really, really fun, and we did really enjoy it, and I think we're going to do it again. It was totally worth doing. It was super fun. JC, that was a great live stream. It was really, really fun. I modded my telly and now nobody wants it. Mod it again. Do it. Do something different. You know what I mean? That's the fun thing about having a guitar that you can just like change up and mess with and do all kinds of fun stuff with. Super fun. Can you do a difference between dependent and independent pots or whatever it's called? I don't know what you're talking about there, but if I figure that out, maybe I will. I don't know what you're talking about. My birthday is coming up. What do you think? An MIM Fender Telly or a StewMac Wilkinson guitar kit? To tell you the honest truth, I would buy an MIM Telly. I am not a big fan of kits. This is again where I think people try to save money, but then to do it really right, you end up spending a bunch of money to upgrade hardware. And yeah, okay, so you do it over time, but I think you start off with a better guitar with a Mexican Telly, and if you did nothing to it, it would still be good. Where most kits are kind of crappy, and you have to do stuff right away to them to get them right, if that makes sense. So you could still mod an MIM Telly over time, but you would start off at a higher level, I think. And there will be resale value people about that, like don't put money into an MIM Telly. You know how I feel about that. But it would still be probably a better guitar to start with. So let's say you bought that thing, but you couldn't afford to mod it. You would still be ahead, I think. Let me know what everybody else thinks in the comments. Those kits are never really that good. I know that Dan at Guns and Guitars has done a bunch of kits, and every time he does one, I've noticed there's little work that he has to do to them that is just so... I don't know. I just have never really been that big of a fan. I've never been that big of a fan of kits. That's why we've never really built them on here. Dan does a good job at Guns and Guitars. He does a good job of going through the concepts of what you have to do to make those things right. And I like his channel for that. Yeah. Is the no load a no load when it's fully clockwise or fully on 10? So clockwise. Fully clockwise. Yep. Here's a fun fact though. You can make any pot a no-load tone pot if you carefully take it apart and scrape off at the very end just the last little, just the basically however wide the wiper is. So if the wiper is like a 1/16 of an inch wide, just scrape off that part of the trace right there and put it back together. I'm not recommending you do that. Again, the right thing to do is just buy the right pot. But pots are like $10. They're not cheap. No-load tone pot. If you order pickups from me, hit me up. I don't sell no-load tone pots on the website. We don't sell pots. But a lot of times if people buy pickups and they're like, hey, I need something, if I have it in stock, I'll work it in and I'll send you one. They're variable in quality. See, that's the thing. Somebody asked me again about Guitar Fetish, and I feel like the kits and that stuff in that price point, even within the same brand, you could order 10 of them and they would come 10 different ways. That's the part to me that I have a hard time with. And I guess it's because what we build, I try to really strive for consistency and quality. And so, I don't know, I have very low tolerance for that. And if I order something and I'm expecting it, you know, Dan at Guns and Guitars, man, my nose is itchy. Dan at Guns and Guitars did, like, for example, a guitar fetish kit, and when he ordered it, he got it and it was supposed to have a maple neck and it came with a rosewood neck, or vice versa, I can't remember. Like, that stuff would really, really annoy me. If I check the boxes on the website and this is what I'm supposed to get and it's not right, I would expect the company to make it right and be consistent about that. Now, I've accidentally sent people wrong pickups, or, oh, it was supposed to be chrome, or it was supposed to be black, but we try to make that right. You know what I mean? Like, stuff happens. But it's been my experience that at that price point with those things, consistency is like not even on the table ever, is kind of the problem. That's my thing. Matt has good ones that he's making, but they're $600 or $700. I've never tried one of his. We should talk to him about. Wait, so Matt at Texas Toast is making kits? We should talk to him about that. Pickups on kits are, yeah, they're always garbage. They're always garbage. And don't come at me with guitar fetish. Guitar fetish pickups are garbage. I don't like them. And again, if cost is a thing and it is what you have, that's fine. But they are not good compared to good stuff. And people that constantly are like, well, they're great, but I got it for $29 and it was great. No, it was great because you felt good about spending only $29. That's why it was good. And I don't mean to be a jerk about that, but a lot of people really focus on that. And that is, it's not, the cost versus what you get is not a reflection of what the actual quality of the item is. It's either good or it's not. And it's cheap or it's good. Most of the time. Most of the time. Wondering about the site from this. Oh, okay. So there was a problem with his website. The guy that was making the masks for me. I will talk to him about that and try to get some information for you. Buy a used MIM telly and then mod it and put Dylan humbuckers in it. Yeah, Sean McMillan ordered center punches, I think. Building humbuckers and wondering about magnet choice. Thinking about magnetic pole pieces like Strats. How would that sound? Okay, dude, so here's what you do. Now, I don't normally give away like how I build stuff, but I don't really build these that much. And so I'll tell you what I would do. I don't have any sitting here to show you, but what I would do is I would get a regular humbucker bobbin, slug side, and get 187 magnets and press them in after you wind them, and use magnetic slugs like from a Strat in there. But get the length correct so that it suspends itself inside a humbucker case. I did this with one custom guitar about 4 years ago. If those of you that have been following me for a long time, I did a silver telly with a carbon fiber pickguard and a Richlight fretboard, and we made humbucker, basically wide range humbuckers, but they were with magnets from basically a Strat pickup that I pushed through the slug sides of humbucker bobbins, and those pickups were amazing. They sounded more like regular wide range humbuckers than the fake ones that you get in Mexican Strats and stuff. Tellys. They were really, really good. So I would try that. That would be super cool. Is there a Gauss meter that you would recommend and that's relatively inexpensive? And do you have a recommended starting point for A2, A3, A5, and C8 magnets? I do not give up those numbers. So this is getting into an area where I tell you I do not give them up. However, there are a couple of good. You're gonna spend for a good Gauss meter. You're gonna spend probably $150. I will tell you that. Yeah, that is one thing. Do you watch Daryl Braun's channel? Did you see the video of him talk about pickups made of silver wire? I did see that video. I have played those pickups. I think they're a waste of money. They sound different than regular pickups. They don't sound 800 bucks good though, or 700 bucks or whatever they cost. I think that's a thing. That's like a gold Apple Watch to me. Yes, you can do it. Yes, it looks different. But the only reason you do it is to say you have it. You know, that's to me. Hang on, I got a phone call coming in. I'm trying to decline it. That's to me it's one of those. It's like having a gold Apple Watch. Like, it is possible, and some people will think it is cool for various reasons. But it's not that much better unless you just want to say you have one. That's silver wire pickups to me. Do you like G&L guitars? The small experience that I have with them, yeah, I think they're cool. They have really neat pickups, and I don't know anything about them, and that's why I've not made videos about them, because I have no idea about them. I don't know anything about them, and I've tried to buy them. It's really hard to buy those pickups without buying a whole guitar. That's another one on my list. I guess I forgot earlier when we were talking about list of pickups to buy, to test and show, but I can't find them. I've been looking for those. Yeah, for sure. What can you say about Neo Mags? Neodymium magnets are really, 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 really strong, and they work pretty good in basses, so I hear. I've never used them. I've used them a lot in my previous profession, in the power sports industry with doing stuff in motors, but I've never used them for pickups. I personally don't find them very practical. I do know a few very knowledgeable people. One of them lives in New York, who makes bass pickups with them and has a lot of success with them. I don't know a lot about them. Let's see. Get a Glary for $100 and try to learn. That's the one I ran over with my Tundra. Remember that? I drove over one of those. There are 3 different pickups. Yeah. Yeah, I'd totally buy a Squire over a Glary for sure. Those things are... So that's the one I played underwater too. I played one underwater. We ran one over with my truck. I give you an idea how I... Let's see. Dean Zielinski's they got those cool necks with the like snake skin back that feels weird. I've never actually played one though. Yeah, super cool. Have you ever tried the rail hammer? Yes. Okay, so I'm a massive Reverend fan. I'm not gonna lie. I think if you want a semi-unique, I know they're getting more common, but a semi-unique, it's not a Strat, it's not a Tele, it's not an SG, you know what I mean? Very well made and very well finished foreign made guitar. They're made in Korea. Those things are amazing. I love them. The most experience I have with one, to tell you the honest truth, actually was a handmade one, because it was an early prototype. John Bollinger from Premier Guitar gave me his to replace the pickups. So the thing about Reverend guitars is that I'm pretty sure they're all Artec pickups, those Korean pickups. So like their P90s and stuff, they're just meh. They're like Epiphone pickups. They're okay. But John Bollinger from Premier Guitar gave me his to replace the pickups in. So we put 3 of our P90s in them. He actually just featured it on one of his videos on Instagram about like 2 weeks ago. And he's used it in demos and stuff before. It's a killer guitar. The tremolo, it's a Wilkinson 2-post tremolo. The build quality is amazing. It's got a neat circuit on it with it's not a TBX thing, but it's like a presence control sort of thing. Really cool. Those are cool, really cool guitars. And so as far as the rail hammer goes, my buddy had one, and I only got to play it for a couple of hours one time at a practice gig, but It is an interesting pickup. I think it's just a thing to say that they made them. You know, like I don't see any real practical reason to do it that way, but they are cool, and we should. That's another one we should get and take apart. Yeah, really, really cool. Really cool. You need to use gold strings with those silver wire pickups. I think Vittel is going to retire. I do. I really do think he's going to retire. I don't, and Staple P90, actually I had an email, somebody texted me yesterday, or emailed me yesterday, asked me to build a set of Staple P90s. I don't have the right stuff for them, and there's no way I'm going to cut one of those apart because they're expensive. That's one thing I won't try, personally I won't do, is like cut up vintage stuff, unless it's to repair it, and I probably won't on the Staple things. Well, I mean, you could, okay, so Swarovski picked crystals on the body. You could do like, who's the Led Zeppelin guy? Jimmy Page. You could do like the mirrors on it, because that's awesome. I have a neodymium Fishman acoustic single coil pickups on my Dreadnought. See, now on an acoustic, neodymiums make sense. If you remember our video about staggered pull pieces, and we discussed the center mass of the string, the unwound portion of the string, the core. Since you're using phosphor bronze on an acoustic most of the time, or bronze, you're relying on a magnetic pickup, like a sound hole pickup, on the core of the string to get the motion, to get the tone. So having a neodymium magnet on an acoustic actually kind of makes sense, because you'd probably create more voltage for the given mass of the string that you're dealing with. I'm just spitballing here and thinking about this literally as I'm talking. I've never even thought about this before you brought it up right now. But I would imagine that given the mass of a string, having more magnet there would give you more voltage per mass of string. It's a possibility. So with an acoustic, that's kind of cool. That might, and I don't know if that's actually the science there, but that, I would have to think about it some more, but just kind of spitballing off the top of my head, that would be worth thinking about more. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Have you had any experience or yourself used a V3 string butler for tuning stability? Again, that is that to me, that's a Band-Aid product. I won't buy one. They actually talked to me about doing a review, and I didn't tell them that I wasn't going to do it, because the only reason I would do it is to make fun of it, but that's basically the reason. If you have string angle, and we're probably going to talk about this on the Gretsch, if you have string angle problems in the peg head, cut the nut to work properly, and you won't need a string butler. That is a Band-Aid of a problem that doesn't exist if the setup is correct. You just have to have a good guitar tech that knows what they're doing to do it right. But that was a product. And then the other product, I'll just tell you right now. Have you guys ever seen, I don't know, and I'm sorry if you're watching the video, I'm about to make fun of your product right now, but the video where, or the product where it's for a telly, and it's like this aluminum piece that goes from the neck plate to the string through of the body, and it's like a metal piece that's supposed to tie it together and make more sustain. They reached out to me like 2 years ago, and they're like, do you want to make a video about it? And I'm like, no, because I'd be kind of laughing the whole time. Like, a couple of those products to me are kind of snake oily, and I'm just going to call it out and say that. Sorry if you're watching, but I think it's funny. Have you ever done de-arming vintage pickups that came on the old Gretches? I have rewound tons of them. We have not talked about them a lot. They're just big single coils. They're they're all just different variants of big single coils, basically. Some of them are very interesting, though. We could go down that road. That would be cool. What's a good replacement for my Firebird? In the 90s, they used cheap ceramic magnets. I think no soul in that pickup. Shoot me a message at Dylan Talks Tone, and I will make you one. I'm actually making some Firebird pickups on Monday. I actually I'm doing that literally. The parts came in today to make some Firebird pickups. So I am actually going to make some, and we are probably going to put them on the website. So shoot me an email, and I will make you some. Let's see. Alnico 5 or ceramic magnet in a bridge pickup, in a bridge humbucker. We make them both ways for different reasons. I like our ceramic 8-ball in the bridge and a center punch Alnico 5 in the neck of that combination, but I'd take it both ways. Our DAFs are all Alnicos, so, you know, it could be either way. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's cool, man. Well, thanks for hanging out, everybody. This has been a lot of fun. I know it's getting on to 40 minutes or so. And we will probably do some more stuff later this week. Obviously, I have a video coming out tomorrow. And then we've got another one coming out Monday. It's just keeping on going the whole month of May. Make sure you go over to DylanContest.com and enter to win the 40,000 subscriber giveaway guitar. I would say that's going to be happening in the next couple weeks. And then also, I would say to make sure that you check out this class on the 24th, patreon.com/DylanTalksTone. This class on the 24th about nuts is going to be really cool. We're going to do these once a month. But Leslie had the great idea that on 5 Sunday months, we're going to, on the 5th Sunday, do a bonus class for free. So if you are enrolled in our classes that are once a month, on this month, you're going to get 2. And that's really going to be fun. So make sure you check that out if you haven't already. You guys have been awesome. I'm glad to be able to hang out with y'all for a few minutes today. Make sure you check out our video tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I'll be in the chat on that thing. And until then, we'll see you soon.